Before I get started with this video, I want to make this quick disclaimer for anybody at YouTube that's going to be watching this video. Anybody that the community police guidelines at YouTube that's going to be watching this video. What I'm about to show is a free channel that I can get on a legal product that I can buy at Target, Best Buy, Amazon, and all of that. It's not illegal. So I better not get in this video any strikes, any warnings that, oh, you made a video talking about an illegal product of streaming services and blah, blah. I better not get that because what I'm about to show is a free legal streaming service. Just like Pluto TV, just like Tubi, just like the Roku channel, all of that. Watch the full video if you don't believe me. This is something that you can get from the Roku channel store, not xxx.com. So watch the full video and see it for yourself. Let's get started. Hello, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at Xumo. Now, this is the first time I'm going to be mentioning this channel. I'm going to feature this channel in my video. And why am I mentioning it for the first time and featuring it? Well, as you can tell, if you had Xumo for years on your Roku device, it looks different. As you can see, the wording is different. Why does it look different? Well, look at it. Look on the left side. See Xfinity? See Xumo? Now, if you don't know, Comcast bought Xumo, and now couple months or maybe years after buying Xumo, now it looks like Xfinity. So, you know, looks different. You got the X symbol looking just like the X symbol of the Xfinity logo. And you have a new interface and all of that. So I thought, why not take a look at this free streaming service and see what it has to offer today. So, you know, before we get started, this is the old Xumo, as you can see in the top right corner. That's the old Xumo logo before it was even bought by Comcast, which also owns Xfinity. You can see the UI, the old UI for it. So let's take a look at the new Xumo, which seems to be trying to match Xfinity. And let's take a look at the new UI, see all the content it's offering for free that you can get here. 250 networks, you can see right here, plus full movies and TV shows on demand. Plus, let's make a little mini review off of it too by talking about everything that I don't like, and then we're going to get into everything else. So let's get started. So when you launch the new Xumo, as you can see, it has a new logo, a new loading screen. Now, let's get into the first thing I don't like about it. And this is a big drawback for me, a big drawback of what I don't like. See how long it's taken to load the guide? Whenever I go on Pluto TV, whenever I go on the Roku channel and Tubi or all that, the guide loads up instantly. You see how long it took just to load the guide? Look at this. Let's go into this channel right here. Let's go down. All right, see the guide a little bit below the content, so let's go. Okay, now it's slowing up instantly. But sometimes this happens, all right? Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. See how long it's taking? This happens sometimes, not even sometimes, most of the time when I'm diving into the interface, the guide takes a while to load up. And I've been dealing with this problem on my Roku TV. I've been dealing with the problem on my Roku Ultra. So this is the big problem with the Xumo interface. The guide takes forever to load. And like I said, you don't have that problem on the Plutos and Tubis and all of that. The guide loads instantly up on there. But on Xumo, it takes a while to load up. So that's the first thing I don't like right there. The next thing I don't like about it, there's no account. And you should know what I'm talking about. If you have Tubi or if you have a Pluto TV, you have an account. on these streaming services, the free streaming services that allows you to, you sign up on the Roku TV, you sign in to your Roku Ultra and all of that. And what happens is it syncs up your favorites list, syncs up your continue watching list and all of that. And it lets you know, it syncs up so no matter where you are, no matter which room you're at, you can finish watching your show in this room, start watching it in this room, and then continue watching it downstairs, sync up your favorites and all of that to each of your Roku devices. Xumo does not have that feature, and that's another thing I don't like about it. Now that we got all the dislikes out the way, let's talk about Xumo. Now, let me tell you something about Xumo. There's like a special place in my heart for the streaming service. A special place in my heart for it. And let me tell you why. First of all, let me give you a quick backstory. The other night I was in the living room and I was playing around with Xumo and I discovered UFC. Now, let me tell you something about UFC. We're not talking about the actual UFC where it has like live pay-per-view events and all of that. That's game for free. No. With UFC, you're getting classic past fighting events and all of that. And I discovered it and I was watching a classic fighting round and I was entertained by it. I was entertained by it a lot with with the fighting. There's like I was halfway through it, but I was maybe around towards the end of it, I was seeing it, and there's this, just typical two people fighting one another, and then there was this guy in the red, a black guy in the red, and there was someone from New Zealand that was in blue, and the one in the red was like fighting, he looked strong and tough and all of that, and it's like holding this, the one from New Zealand like in the corner, holding him, squeezing, grabbing, making sure he couldn't move so that he could win. But the New Zealand man, he was strong enough to eventually let go of the one in the red. And and then they had the last round, and those both at it hard in the last round with the one in the red and the blue. Now I don't remember the names and all of that, but the blue one, he looked weak in that last round. He looked weak. He had nose bleeding. He was bleeding from his nose and all of that. Now the red one was bleeding from his head, but the blue one looked weak, very weak. And the red one looked tough, and it seems like I was thinking that the red one was gonna win in that round, but it was shocking when I was watching it. The blue one came, he looked weak, and even though he looked weak, he when he had that chance, because the red one was throwing punches and all of that, but when that blue one had his chance, he grabbed the red one, threw him on the octagon floor, and was like punching him hard as he could, holding him, punching him and all that. And eventually he won. And I was like, oh, I did not see that coming, And from that moment on, I fell in love with Xumo at that point, because they had that match for free with UFC. And at this point, I believe Xumo is the only service to have UFC. Now, on Blue TV, you have Bellator, MMA, and some other, wrestling channels and all that. But, obviously, you should know for a fact, they don't come close to UFC. So, the fact that UFC was exclusively available for free. Now, we're not, like I said, we're not talking about the newer live matches. Obviously, you have to have pay-per-view and all of that. You have to check it out on the official Roku channel for the UFC, and you have to pay for all that. You can't get it for free on Xumo because obviously that would be illegal. You got that, YouTube? Okay, I hope you got that. But anyways, obviously you can't view the live pay-per-view matches on Xumo, otherwise it would be illegal. So you got the classic past UFC events. So to me, that's the number one thing I like about Xumo right there. You got the UFC channel with the classic wrestling matches. So that's the number one thing I like right there. Another thing you gotta keep note is that if you're a news junkie, Xumo is the only service to have CBS News, NBC News, ABC News, and Fox. Now, not the actual Fox News channel, but Live Now from Fox, where they take the local stations from Fox around the country, all the local Fox stations, and they combine it into this one channel where they give you non-stop news, raw, and editing and all of that. So that's another thing you gotta keep note with Xumo, the only channel to offer all of the network news and other things like that. So that's another thing you gotta keep noting. Now, let's dive into the UI and see what it looks like. So you got the live guide right here. Now at the top you got recommended content. So, recommended content like what you watched last, you can take a look at it again and all of that. You got that here. So you can see you got all these channels here. And on the left side, you got the categories, so you can find the category you want to check out. So you can check it out right there. You can scroll right to see what's coming up next. Again, this is a problem with Xumo that I don't like. The guide takes a long time to load up information, a long time to load up. That's a thing I don't like right there. But once it loads up, you can take a look. Now, matter of fact, let me know in the comments if you have Xumo, if you have this problem, but that's the problem that I have right now, and that's something I don't like. So like I said, you can scroll right, see what's coming up next. Scroll left, see what's happened before. I hate this. I don't like this. Look how long it's taken. Look how long it's taken to show information. That's so ridiculous, and I don't like that right there. That's what's probably holding me back from using the Xumo fully. It's that long delay with the guide. I don't like that. But once it loads up, you can scroll left or right with the categories. If you leave a show highlighted, you got the option to watch now. You can watch the show on demand that's airing. You can take a look at the information for a particular series that's airing, or you can tune into the network. You got the options to favorite. So when you select the show, when you select the channel rather, that's highlighted, you can favorite it. And when you go back, here we go again. That long, boring delay. When you go up in the categories and when you go down to my favorites, there you can see the show that you have favorited. Now, in the guide, you have ads sometimes. If you used to have DirecTV and you switch off of it to streaming, it kind of feels familiar to the DirecTV guide where they got ads showing up in areas of the guide. So let's keep that noted. Let's go left. So you can see in the left side of the screen, you got the live guide. You can take a look at free movies. Let's go into free movies. So you can see free movies on here. You can take a look at featured content that's popular. Now, of course, it's October and it's Halloween, so of course, everybody's celebrating that month. You got Xumo exclusives, editor's picks, recently added content. Seems like you may have some notable ones here. Some maybe not. Leaving soon, so that content's going to expire from Xumo soon. And like I mentioned earlier, Xumo, own my Comcast, it's like that own Xfinity, NBC, and all that. So you got some content powered by Xfinity, like, content that features African Americans. You got action, comedy, crime. You got suspense, sci-fi, all the typical genres. I don't need to go through all of them. You can take a look at that for yourself. And then you can take a look at the rest here if you want to. Shows, similar, featured all the typical genres. You can take a look at all the genres here. So you can scroll down, take a look at all of them on demand. And then you got networks. So you can see I added favorites here. UFC, got that here. Most popular channels. So you got Hallmark, Dateline from NBC. Now Hallmark, not the regular channels you got on cable and all like that. You got the free version here. UFC, same thing. You got ABC News Live, NBC News Now. Now you even got shows like daytime shows and nighttime shows that have their own channels, like Divorce Court. You got Xumo Movies, Live Now from Fox, Newsmax, Fox Weather, the Anger Management Channel. Now Xumo partners with companies like Filmrise and Dust Asylums and things like that. So they got their own channels here like as well. So example, you got Filmrise Horror. So it's Halloween, so you're getting some feature content like horror and all that. Like Xumo Halloween Horrors, The Walking Dead universe, The Archive, Gravitas Movies, Dust, Sci-Fi, The Asylum, Xumo Crime, Paranormal Files here. News, you got content. Like I said, ABC News, you got CBS. One thing I forgot to keep note that some Xumo channels like CBC News, they distribute channels like that onto other platforms like the Roku channel. So CBC News, powered by Xumo, and you got that on the Roku channel. So keep that noted. You got Time, you got the Young Turks, you got XL News, looks like from NBC, Newsy, Today All Day, Bloomberg, Time and all of that. Weather here. Movies, so you got all these movies here. One thing to keep noted too, Crackle. Now, if you saw my video a couple videos back on the channel, if you saw that video when I was talking about Crackle, that to me has the worst UI ever. Because not only copy Netflix, but doesn't have the features as well, like the account as well for syncing up favorites and continue watching all that. Same thing here with Xumo, but to me it has a little bit of a nicer UI than Crackle. Oh brother, not again. But let's take a look at Crackle right here on Xumo and see what it's to offer. Now obviously on the actual Crackle app you're gonna get a ton of more content than with his partner on Xumo. But you are getting content nonetheless, like again the typical Crackle spotlight, and then you got series here that Crackle is promoting, plus the original series that it has and the movies and all that as well. So you can take a look at Crackle here. You have sports, so Fox Sports, not the actual channel, the free version of it. You have CBS Sports. Don't expect ESPN here. Don't expect NBC Sports here. Don't expect none of that. Just, sports talk and channels that have, past footage of sporting events. Expect that here. Don't expect ESPN. Don't expect Amazon Prime, Thursday Night Football and all that. Don't expect none of that here. Just expect sports talk, highlights, and past sport videos and sport movies and all that. Expect that here. Combat Sports. So you can take a look at UFC, Impact and all of that. Crime here, Forensic Files, Court TV, Dateline and all of that. Action, you got Ion, Airway, Degrassi, AMC, not the actual AMC channel, but you got stories by AMC. Comedy, Bounce XL. Like I said, you got shows here that have their own channels out of it. Western, all these networks that have home and design, like This Sold the House, that's also available on PBS and the Roku channel and all of that. You got BBC Home and Garden. You got game shows here. If you're into Family Feud, non-stop shows of it on here. The Old Deal or No Deal. Game Show Central. That's the sister channel to the Game Show Network that you see on cable and all of that. Classic Price is Right. Fox First One. You got food channels here. So you got America's Test Kitchen and BBC Food and all of that. You got the Travel and Lifestyle channel. Now, what's interesting here is that you got some shopping channels like QVC and HSN. Now, I believe you're actually getting those live, so just keep that noted, and free. Now you got content for the Spanish-speaking community, Latino here. You got reality TV, so you got, like I said, Divorce Court, Nosy, that has shows like Maury, Jerry Springer, and all of that. You know, if you want to see who's not the father and all of that, you got that here. History Shorts, Classic TV, History and Learning. And what's interesting is Xumo is the only channel to offer PBS Digital Studios. Not the actual PBS channel, but you know, stuff like you get on YouTube where PBS has all these digital YouTube shows. You're getting that as a channel here. So if you want to learn about science and all of that, you got that here. Also, you got TED here. You know, the TED Talks and all of that, you got that here. Faith and Family. You know, you into gospel and all of that, you got that here, like TBN and all of that. You got kids like Barney, you know, past seasons of it. You know, if you want to get the kids interested in, you know, stuff, you got that here. You got nature. You got pop culture. Interestingly enough, you got, you know, Xfinity. Like I said, they're with, you know, they contribute to Xumo because, like I said, Xfinity, Xumo owned by Comcast, just like that on MC and all of that. So you got their own stuff here, promoting their own stuff. You got the Growl. Now that channel used to be known as the Black News Channel until Entertainment Studios purchased that channel. Now they turn it into the Growl. So it's no longer like the news for African Americans. Now you got entertainment and all that for the African American community. You got People TV if you're into the latest pop culture news, past stuff, whatever happened in the past with regards to entertainment and all of that, and reunions and all that, you got that here. Fox Soul, similar to the Growl, but you got, you know, Fox content on here for the African American community. Mixable used to be known as ET Live, but still has that there. But it's also getting additional stuff from Paramount, like Inside Edition and, you know, whatever's airing on Paramount Plus, they're promoting that in there. You got International. You got music videos, so they partner with Vivo to offer music videos playing nonstop. And they got into roles like current pop music, music from the 80s and the 70s, and you got country. They also partner with iHeart. So you got stuff from the 90s, country and all of that. And then they also partner with Stingray to offer stuff like hot country, classic rock and all of that. Finally, you got the local news. Now this is major right here. You got CBS owned and operated stations, ABC owned and operated stations on here offering live streams of their newscasts when they're on the air, and then when they're off the air, they offer original content and replays of the newscast and all of that. Plus they partner with Cox, so you can see Cox stations here. And then they got localists here. So that's it for all the networks that they offer on here. Let's take a look at the settings. You can turn closed caption on and off. You got additional information. And you can personalize your locations, so you can check out, the latest, the best local stations like news and sports and all that, and the weather. And Xumo will personalize that when you're watching your local news and all of that. Now, what's cool about Xumo is that some channels have the option where you can take a look at on-demand content, like with the news and sports and all of that. So, like, take for example, let's go into ABC News Live, and you can take a look at network information. You can favorite it, and again, turn on closed captioning. But let's go to network information. So take for instance of ABC News Live. You're getting, a timeline of shows that's coming up, shows are in right now. And I can go down and take a look at the latest headlines, take a look at feature content that they're offering, politics, health, entertainment, all of that. And of course, you got the election. So that's a nice touch that Xumo has as a feature. I can go down and I can take a look at related content. So I can take a look at more news. Since ABC is offering news, I can take a look at more news from CBS and Channel News, or recommends crime and other things like that. And then I can go down some more and get back to this long, annoying loading guide that takes forever to load. That's the main problem I have with this, and that's something I definitely don't like. How long it takes to load up the guide. Absolutely ridiculous. You have that problem with Pluto TV or Tubi and all that. The guide loads up instantly. So it's absolutely ridiculous that Xumo, when you're loading up the guide, takes forever. Definitely need to fix that. And then if they fix it, I definitely use that more often. Because, like I said, I actually like Xumo, and I fell in love with it. Like I said, when I saw that they offered UFC, and I saw that great fight match and all of that, I actually enjoyed watching. But again, that turn off for me is that long loading guide. Also, as well, what I don't like about it, like I said, the account, you can't sync up content. Definitely don't like that either. Another thing is, anybody that's watching this video, have you heard of Xumo other than what you're seeing right now? Have you heard of it? Xumo, they definitely don't have like a campaign where they're promoting themselves hard like Tubi does and Pluto TV. Like every time I look at ads on my phone when I'm reading stuff, every time I'm looking at videos, I see Pluto TV ads, I see Tubi ads on the TV and all of that. I ain't never seen an ad for Xumo. Never once. And, maybe they could have plenty of viewers. If so, that's good. Then I guess you don't need any ad campaign to promote your streaming service. But if it's not the case, they definitely need to start promoting Xumo and let people know, hey, Xumo by Xfinity, we're offering UFC, we're offering news, we're offering, all these great channels that we're offering here for free. Xumo by Xfinity. They need to promote that service a lot and get more people up in this service, because for the content that's offering, the features that it has, I like this service a lot. Now, again, that major turnoff of why I'm not really going to use that service other than, for watching the UFC fights is the guide. Like I said, it takes forever to load and all of that. But if they can fix that, then I'll definitely use that service more often. Alright? I think that's it. I had enough, sort enough. That's Xumo, again, new look, has a new logo that looks similar to Xfinity. I never had Xfinity, so I don't know what the UI for that looks like, but it looks if it is the case, it looks very similar to Xfinity and all of that. It seems like that's the main goal of it now. Another thing to keep noted too, they haven't even announced the new logo or the new branding or whatever they plan on doing with it. But, just keep that noted. Got the new Xumo. Looks similar to Xfinity. How do I exit out of this? Okay, I go down and I exit out. All right. But yeah, if you're into Xumo, check it out. It's like I said, it's available for free on the Roku store. So you can check out right here, Xumo right here. Again, looks similar to Xfinity with the logo and the UI and all of that. But the content is killer to me with the way they're offering. The only channel to offer ABC News, CBS News, Live Now from Fox, NBC News Now, the free ones. You got UFC. You're getting over 250 channels. Like I said, it's a definite go. And, you should check it out. If you definitely don't mind that long loading delay with the guy and all of that. And if you don't mind, not having to sync up your account, not having the option to do that, then you need to definitely check out this service right here. Again, free on the Roku channel store. Okay, YouTube, not xxx.com, not offering any illegal content, offering free content. You got that, YouTube? Okay, I hope you got that. Alright, that's it for this edition of Roku Now. Hopefully you got the most out of your Roku experience with this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.